Hello, this is Malleus playing Rome Total War multiplayer. This is round 2 of my three-part match between myself and BeefEATER. Alright, so this is for round 2. I decided to go with Julii Romans, and I also decided to play a bit of mind games because in battle, physical confrontations is it's only half the battle. The other half is a mental one. So last time I went Macedonians, and the build that I went for is a cavalry heavy build. Lots of companion cavalries. I had a total of 6 companions and 1 extra Macedonian cavalry, so a lot of cavalry. This time, my Julii Romans went mostly on infantry, so I have an infantry heavy build. Unfortunately for my opponent, he went for an anti-cavalry build with 4 units of scythe chariots. So this is BeefEATER's army. He is Pontus. His Pontic army contains 4 units of scythe chariots, 6 units of bronze shield, pikemen, 1 unit of Cappadocian cavalry, 6 units of archers, and 2 units of peasants. There we go. And this is my Julii army. I have 6 centuries of legionary cohorts, 1 century of the legionary first cohort, 2 centuries of the early legionary cohorts, and 2 units of auxilia light infantry, and they are protecting both my flanks. I also have at the very back 6 units of Roman archers. Also guarding my flanks are 2 units of legionary cavalry. In the very back, where my general is residing, is 1 unit of praetorian cavalry. So as the saying goes, only a fool does the same tactics twice. And as Musashi Miyamoto said, when you use a tactic enough times, people tend to catch on. Obviously, my opponent did catch on to my initial strategy of being heavy on the cavalry department. So this time he went for more of an anti-cavalry structure to his army. Unfortunately, I'm not emphasizing on cavalry this time. This time I'm emphasizing on heavy infantry, hence the legionary cohorts. These days, I don't really like using urban cohorts anymore. They are just way too powerful. If you want my advice or opinion on the matter, if you want to have a really good time using Rome, go with legionary cohorts. They're much less broken. Anyway, my opponent decided to mass his cavalry force on his left flank, attempting to, I guess, go after my legionary cavalry. But I got my legionary cavalry out of there because I know full well that they're not gonna stand a chance. And I also turned off skirmish mode for my Roman archers so that they won't run away, and that gives time for my auxilia to get in there, and also my legionary cohorts to throw their pila. That first charge, I managed to graze his scythe chariots using my auxilia, and I also used the same auxilia to trap to catch his Cappadocians. I also managed to get some pila. He's trying to chase my cavalry, but way ahead of him. There is no way I'm going to send my cavalry against his scythe chariots. That is suicide. Now my flank guard are doing a bit of rear guard action. Both my auxilias are engaged. My left flank, or my right flank rather, is completely engaged. While all that chaos is happening, I made made a quick raid against his archers using my cavalry. And when I noticed that he was bringing his infantry over to ward off my cavalry, I quickly retreated them through my formation just to discourage any pursuit. And through all the kerfuffle, he also managed to get his Cappadocians trapped, but he still managed to escape though. That was a bit of a shame on my part, but the task of getting rid of most of his chariots are now out of the way. So he has 2 depleted units of scythe chariots now, and he decides to charge these 2 units that strayed from the main army. Unfortunately, those 2 units consist of 1 legionnaire cohort and 1 auxilia, so his chariots are going to die. I also send my center over in my left side forces to reinforce those 2 units, while I reorganized my center right. I also noticed his Cappadocians going for a charge, so I sent a legionary cohort to intercept them and minimize the damage of his charge. So I think only about 4 horses managed to get a good charge in, the rest kind of got bogged down. So if you're ever using Rome, you can't just, you know, expect Rome to go forward and destroy everyone. Maybe you can use if you have Praetorian cohorts or urban cohorts, not so much for any others. You gotta use their mobility, their flexibility. Alright, so I'm moving up the rest of my forces, my reserve line, just in case I need them. I don't want to use too many of my units.
This is no way for a leader to behave, but in battle, it's beyond belief.
It's foolish to use too many units. Just in case things go wrong, I'll have more. Besides, I have these units, and they're about to, I can just free these units up using my cavalry. Look at this. See? Instant reinforcements. Now those units are able to reinforce any other side of my of the struggle here. I'm also starting to make outflanking maneuvers, noticing that I have noticing the advantage that I have over in my left side. Also making sure that my Eagle Standard is always within range of my Legionnaires, giving them that much needed morale boost, not that they need it at this point. Now these units are going to be surrounded, and that's going to be that.
All Rome will be amazed at such a victory! The day is ours!
Good game to BeefEATER. That was round 2 of 3. There is one more round, ladies and gentlemen, so stay tuned.